The tool doesn't matter, but it also matters immensely. It was the great year of our Lord 2017 when I began my quest to become a YouTuber. Oh man, what an era that was. I came to my first big fork in the road early on. As a Peter McKinnon diehard fanboy, I needed to decide upon my weapons of choice quickly. Was I going to take the path of the great McKinmeister and dive headfirst into the armory of Adobe? Or was I going to go more grassroots and embark upon a quest where I would find my weapons along the way? But quickly I realized that the great Adobe was at least $50 a month, and this was just a hobby. And I wasn't gonna do that. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a video all about software. I know, you way in the back, you're falling asleep. I've been hesitating to make this video for a while because I kind of feel like it's talking about like what camera you shoot on and like all cameras are great, but I don't know, maybe it's because I think software is a lot more subjective. There is a lot of pieces of software that are really good at certain things, but also just again, my angle of not coming from Adobe, I think, is worth sharing and giving you guys good recommendations for tools and software that doesn't cost $1 zillion every month. And maybe even just to be a testament of like, you can absolutely edit photos, make great videos, and do this whole creative stuff without using a single Adobe product. Let's start at the very beginning. It's a very good place to start. Let's start with my favorites, of course, video editing. If you guys are new to the channel, maybe you don't know this, if you've been around for any amount of time, any amount of videos, you should know for a fact that I am a die-hard DaVinci Resolve fan and a die-hard Final Cut Pro fan. I've talked about it at length. We won't get into it in too much detail in this video, and also just consider subscribing because that's a pretty hot topic that comes up on my channel consistently, is DaVinci Resolve and Final Cut. But for the most part, it's kind of whatever I'm in the mood for, or whatever I think a given piece of software will be better at executing for a client gig or a YouTube video, whatever the case may be. That is how I make my decision. They're both great. They're both great at different things, and you know, it kind of just depends on what I need. But I know you guys are probably curious, so I'll give you a few quick, rapid fire answers here. If a super clean audio mix is #1 priority, I'm going with DaVinci Resolve. If I'm having to do a lot of magic masking or rotoscoping of myself, or anything that's kind of graphically heavy that I have to do motion graphics from the ground up, completely homemade and super professional, I'm going DaVinci Resolve. If color grading matters at all, I'm going DaVinci Resolve. If I need to transcribe something or generate automatic captions, I'm going DaVinci Resolve. So now what about Final Cut? Final Cut's kind of my go-to fun editor. It's just a good time. It's super easy. It's not clunky. There's so many things that are just simple. It's very much Apple-brained in the way that it's designed, and it's kind of just my place to have fun. In general, find it to be a little bit better at kind of doing Jake dorky dad type edits. Just has a lot of cheesy effects and things that I really like that don't look good. They don't look professional, but they're just fun. But I think that's enough on that. The next piece of software required for Jake's content creation repertoire, arsenal, armory is photo editing software. I really only use one app for this right now. It's an app that I absolutely love, and that includes raw photo edits. Like if I go take pictures backpacking and I just want to process the raws, I use this app for that. That's making thumbnails, generating any sort of like elements to put in videos that are PNGs or JPEGs or whatever the case may be, and that piece of software is Pixelmator Pro. It really does everything that I need. It's not a subscription. You pay once, you get access to it. It hasn't really gotten a lot of updates since I bought it. Ever since I bought it, it's been able to do everything that I really need to do regularly for anything photo related. Again, trying to keep it brief, but a couple of the highlights: the fact that it has auto subject detect, which just makes it really easy to like take a screenshot of me and then cut it out in Pixelmator Pro and throw it in a video or throw it in a thumbnail, or pop text behind me in a thumbnail or whatever the case may be. It can do that, which I really like and I use all the time. It's a really small reason, but the fact that anytime I have an image or something on my clipboard, I can just open up Pixelmator and create a new doc with that image from my clipboard is genius, and I love that. And then again, it has raw photo editing capabilities. So if I take a picture with my Panasonic S5 II, which by the way is my new baby, and I love that it has autofocus, I can edit those photos in Pixelmator. So yeah, I just really like Pixelmator Pro, and it's not crazy expensive. You buy it once and you get it. Okay, now it is time for music. If you've been here, you know I've been playing around with music. I've been talking with a lot of people. It keeps coming up in conversation. There's a force in the universe that is gravitating and pulling me towards music creation, which is awesome. I'm super excited about it, and my go-to software of choice for music creation is Logic Pro. I don't need to go into the long storied history of how I got started with music production way back in the day and how it completely consumed my life, but pretty much the highest tier of professional I ever got was GarageBand. And when I finally got a big boy job, one of the first things I bought was Final Cut Pro and Logic Pro, and I never really used it. I'm getting into using it again, and I'm learning how to use it, and it just feels like GarageBand on steroids, and I just love it so much. It's kind of been my new social media scrolling alternative where it's like, I'm stuck in this edit, or I'm stuck writing in this script, or whatever the case is. Let's just pull up Logic and let's just play. Let's just let the brain go places. Let's foster some creativity. And I'm always bad at predicting the future, but I do think that it will have a big part on this channel going forward. So stay tuned. Okay, now let's talk about boring admin stuff. We've gotten the heavy hitters out of the way. This stuff is kind of boring, but it's been lifesavers, and I absolutely, for my chaos brain, you guys have seen the shed. You know how my brain works. I'm not a clean, organized person. It's just not who I am, especially when it comes to creative things. It's just not the way my brain works. So I want to talk about the software that I use to help kind of tame the beast up in the gray matter and allow me to write scripts and stay organized and do all of that stuff. So let's hit those really quick. For script writing, my main choice right now is actually Pages. I don't know if this one will stick. Before I was using Pages, I was just doing Google Docs, and honestly, I think I've quickly appreciated the separation from the web browser. I've always got YouTube Studio, Instagram, TikTok opened up in my Chrome, and to have my scripts live in that same world has kind of been distracting. So I've actually really appreciated having a Microsoft Word style place where I can write these scripts. It still saves to the cloud. I can still access them on my phone and on different devices, but it's just been really nice to have a dedicated app. I love dedicated apps for a lot of things, and for that specific reason of like, hey, pull this up, we're working on this. And also too, just from a little bit of a nostalgic perspective, it is like opening Word back in the day and writing an essay, which is something I let my nerd side come out. Writing was one of my favorite classes in high school. So this is taking me back. It's bringing a little bit more joy to script writing, and I've been using Pages. And then the last one that I really want to talk about is the generic reminders app. And this one, very similarly to Pages, has changed my ability to not just completely go insane from chaos brain. I have a big widget on my phone with the Apple Reminders app. Because of Face ID, I just pull my phone out, hit that, and I can immediately write down an idea. And I love the Reminders app for that. I just throw everything in there. And then again, it syncs with my laptop. So when I sit down to work, I've got all of the ideas, all of the thoughts from the day. And my general rule of thumb is that anything can hit the Reminders app, but then anything can also be nuked. If it's an idea that just isn't resonating with me when I sit back down, I check it off. It doesn't mean I have to do it. When I throw things in there, it's just a place to catch stuff. And then really from there, if ideas are going to stick, they turn into a script, and then I check them off. And then, you know, I can also have tasks in there that I can check off. It's just one of those places that it's just kind of my catch-all for everything. Organization freaks are probably hearing that and going, what the actual hell? But if you're like me, if you're hearing and relating with chaos brain, you might give it a try. I've found that simplicity is just kind of the best way I can keep myself organized. And again, I've never been creating more than I have recently, which is obviously a tribute to, one, loving this stuff. I love talking about editing. Shocker. But two, I've just been embracing how my brain works and using tools to help. Okay, and really quick before we wrap up, I wanted to give one bonus app. This app is one of my favorites. It's called Procreate Pocket. Now, Procreate, I believe, is a big iPad suite tablet app. I mean, it looks awesome. I want to buy an iPad just for Procreate, but that feels silly, but maybe one day I will. But Procreate Pocket is one for your phone. It's a mobile app, and it's just a drawing app. You can make little graphics, you can draw stuff, and I've just, again, found it to be another great alternative to scrolling. And it's nice to be able to just open this up and play around, make something, let the creative juices flow and not get discouraged. And it's just very much like Logic for me right now. A lot of graphics and backgrounds that you guys see on the channel I actually make in Procreate Pocket. It's like $5 one time. It's a great little app. Couldn't recommend it more. Well, I think that about does it. That is all the software that Jake uses to make a video from start to finish circa 2024. Comment down below how you guys feel about these tools. Do you use some of them? Do you use different ones? Let me know. I'm super curious. Make sure to subscribe again on this channel. We are about all things editing. So if you couldn't tell, a lot of this software was heavily focused towards editing. No surprise, and enabling that, which I love, not ashamed. And if you guys want to support the channel even more, definitely consider becoming a member. Members are the nerdiest of the bunch. We get timeline breakdowns. We look at videos. We do things that I just wouldn't even dare throw at the algorithm because I know that you are a real one. So consider doing that as well. I'm going to let you guys get out of here. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. I truly appreciate it. I'm going to get back to editing. Bam!